Hey everyone, we're not back in the saddle, but we're back in the kitchen. So here we are tonight. We're going to make some pear butter. So hang tight. So Jackie started ahead of me because she got some new peelers from Amazon. So she was trying them two there, and she likes the bigger one better than the little one for the pears anyways. And so tonight we're using Bartlett pears that we got from a friend, and that is 6 pounds of pears. The recipe we're using only calls for 3 pounds, so we'll have to double everything, and I'll put the recipe in the description. So she's now have started peeling the pears and is dicing the pears. So I'll bring you back in just a moment. Okay, we've had a little injury in the kitchen, and it was to me. You can see my finger right there. Believe it or not, that little roller blade is sharp. And the problem on these Bartlett pears, because they're softer, is this thing stops up when it spins right here. And you have to keep pulling the peelings out of it. Of course, that's when I got my finger. Now, you saw a video a couple weeks back when we showed our pear tree down on the homestead. We think those are sand pears, and they're a lot harder. So maybe this device will work better on the sand pears. But you see Jackie's going back just to the regular knife, doing it the old way for her slicing and dicing because she's more comfortable with it. And you can see she's dicing them in the water. And we have put some fruit fresh in the water so that way the pears won't turn brown while she's slicing the rest of them. So let's go to the next step. Okay, the recipe we're using today calls for honey, and that is local honey made from Thomas Honey Farms right here in Waycross, Georgia. But we're also using some ground cinnamon, ground nutmeg, ginger, cloves, and lemon juice. And as I said a moment ago, the amounts will all be in the description. I'll post it in there. Okay, Jackie's got the pears in the saucepan there. So we're going to start adding the ingredients. So the honey, because we're doubling everything, and she's just putting a little bit of water in the bottom of the pan. The recipe doesn't call for any, but like most good cooks, they always alter recipes. So remember, we're doubling everything, and it will be in the description. So we're putting in 6 tablespoons of honey. And that is locally harvested, grown, whatever, Georgia honey. Of course, and this will be the slowest part of the process, is getting all the honey in there and getting it off the spoon. And I'm not a big honey eater, so this will be, and I've never had pear butter before, so this will be interesting for me. I love plain pears that have been peeled and sliced and put in the refrigerator, but I've never had pear butter. Okay, she got that last little bit of honey. The next thing's going to be 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. She's looking at that label like she don't trust me what I'm handing her. And that will be a teaspoon of ground ginger. So she's using a half a teaspoon here, so she'll have to do it twice. Now her recipe calls for salt, and she keeps her salt in the sour cream. She's over here laughing. Keeps her salt in a sour cream container, so we are putting salt, not sour cream. Hey, gotta reuse and recycle. So a half a teaspoon of salt. A pinch, well, 2 pinches of ground nutmeg, and if you want to know what a pinch is, this is a pinch. This is a dash, and this is a smidgen. So we want a pinch of ground nutmeg, or 2 pinches since we're doubling the recipe. Now if you watch old Justin Wilson, the old Cajun from Louisiana that used to cook, and like most of the older folks, they just use their fingers to make their own pinch. So now we're doing 2 pinches of ground cloves.
Oh, smells good.
Ooh, and I can smell that. I don't know if I smell the nutmeg or the cloves, but I can smell one of them. Alright, so now we're going to turn all that on, stirring everything together, and bring it to boil over medium-high heat. And then we'll reduce the heat to medium-low and simmer for about 50 minutes, covering so that the lid is slightly open and stirring occasionally. But you have to make sure the bottom doesn't burn, so you got to keep an eye on it. Then when it gets towards the end, you just have to watch it once it's reduced. And it starts thickening up some. Then we'll remove it from heat and transfer it then to a food processor. So she's mixing everything up. And we'll bring it to the boil. And then let it simmer for about 50 minutes. So we'll bring you back then. I figured I'd let you look at it before we get started. That looks good right there. So we're going to bring it to a boil. Alright, so the pears have been going for 50 minutes. So Jackie is just now pureeing the remaining pear pieces to get it all in a blend. And over here in this pot, she's just got the jars getting hot. So I'll get up here where you can see this stuff. It smells delicious.
And I'm using this instead of my food processor.
Yeah, the recipe said use a food processor, but she just decided to do it this way. Okay, these jars have been heated up, so we're going to get them out of the pot of hot water. Okay, we're fixing to ladle it in the jars and see what it looks like. Alright, so here Jackie's wiping the lids off, and out of that 6 pounds of pears, you can see we've got 4 jelly jars, and then 2 half jelly jars, or sometimes what they call them is giveaway or sample jars. So it's actually just 1 3/4 of those. So again, that's out of the 6 pounds of pears. So now we'll put the lids on them and put them back in here and bring it to a boil for 15 minutes, and then we'll take them out and let them sit. Okay, so the jars have been boiling for 15 minutes, and then we took the lid off and let them sit there for about 5 minutes to cool off. So we're going to set them on the tray here, and then we'll cover them with a towel, that way they're dark, and let them sit for 12 to 24 hours, and then we'll open one up and see how it tastes. So we'll bring you back for the taste test tomorrow. Alright, we've added a member to the taste testing crew. So I've got my brother-in-law Keith here. So we're trying the pear butter from last night. So y'all go ahead and take a taste and tell us what it tastes like.
I smell the cinnamon and all.
It's very good.
It is good.
Mm-hmm.
It is good.
First time of me tasting it. I've never tasted pear butter.
Alright, so I told y'all last night I've never tasted pear butter, so I'm going to get my wife to cut her piece of toast in half.
That's good.
Looks almost like cinnamon toast. That's pretty good. You can taste the cinnamon in that.
It's good.
So that ends this video. Don't forget to hit the like button, the subscribe button, ring the bell, all that good stuff. Y'all take care. God bless, and see you next video.